to episode 29 of building my first model railway. And yes, this week I actually got around to doing some modelling on the railway. Been busy at work, so I had to fit it in here and there, but actually made some progress, so I've got something to show you. So in the last episode I talked about installing a fallow road system. So this week I've been actually installing the baseboards for that roadway system. However, everything on the railway is interconnected, and as soon as you start thinking about the baseboards and where they go for the roadway, I'm starting thinking about, well, does that work with the station and with my underground? So I've actually ended up ripping it all out and actually rebuilding the station, rebuilding the underground station, and trying to improve that whole area. So what was going to be a quick job has turned into a bit of a monster job. But still having lots of fun, and hopefully the finish will be really good. Still got a long way to go, but as you'll see in the videos, I've made some progress, so I've got something to show you, and yeah, I would welcome any feedback on what I'm doing. So thanks very much for checking in. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel if you want to see future videos. And let's get into see what I've actually done this week. So thanks so much, and speak to you again soon. So now it's all been cleared away, I can tell you what I'm planning. So this really has started by the need to want to put a fallow road system in, which I think I said in my earlier video. It's going to come round there and then along here under that baseboard there, and then do a circular route and then back again. In order to put that board in place, I want to really sort out exactly what I'm going to do for my station. I was never really completely happy with the station. It was a bit of a temporary station I made up just to put something there, but it sort of sat on the edge here, didn't go anywhere, sort of hovered in space, so it didn't work that well. So I'm going to make this board wider here to allow me to put a proper station in. Then when I was thinking about the station buildings, I don't want to come out too far here because I've still got my desk and I don't want to be out in the middle of the room. So I still want to keep it quite tight to the wall. So instead of putting the station building here where this isn't room, I'm actually going to put a sort of a board on there and put the station on top, and then have steps coming down. And that way that finishes off this area quite nicely. And also I quite like the idea of a bit of a scenic break. Because otherwise, even though it's quite a large layout, going around the room and you follow it, it doesn't feel that big. So by having a scenic break here, having the station and a bit of a tunnel underneath, hopefully that will sort of be a bit of a scenic break from the industrial area to the station area. So I hope that all makes sense. So I think first job now is just to cut the boards and try and get them fitted in. I've seen the station I want a bit of a retro, so I'm going for the Bachmann. I'm trying to think what it's called now. I did see it online. It's sort of a 1960s type building. So yeah, I've seen that, so I'm going to go for that, and that should just fit in there nicely. And then I might even incorporate the windowsill as a bit of a road back to the railway as well, because I don't quite like the idea of when you're filming you just see the window and the windowsill in the background, so I want to try and disguise that as well. So lots to be getting on with, so I'll try and film as I go along, and you can see how it evolves. Okay, so I've cut the baseboard to go for the fallow road system, and how far I want to come out. It's about the maximum I want to come out, and that's 50 centimetres, if you want to know. And as you can see, it does overshadow my desk a bit, so I'll have to pull it out a little bit. But it still isn't too bad. If I pan back, you'll see I've cut it in a little bit there as well, where the underground station is. So the plan will be to have the road system come round here, and then along here, and under. I'll have to cut out a bit of the support there and reinforce it behind, so it can go under and do the loop. And then I thought, while I'm doing that, I want to install the tube station, so it's a bit further forward, hence while it's quite close there. It's going to be a bit unrealistic having the road going past the tunnel, but it is what it is. You know, I want to be able to see the the underground clearly when I sat there. So I just have to make it work. And then that'll give me room on top to put in a platform and the siding that will go up here. And I want to, on the platform, I've always wanted like a bay terminus. I've got a little diesel DCC sound rail car. Trying to think where it is. I'm just going to pan you around. Sorry about the movement. But that's it there. It's a lovely little rail car. So I want that to be able to run into the terminus, into like a bay platform. So that's the, let's spin you around again. Sorry for the camera movement. So yeah, the plan will be to build a little bay platform here, or a bay for the rail car, and then the platform up the middle, and then going up onto a baseboard with the railway station building there. I'm going to have to extend the board because at the moment it ends just underneath here. I'll just show you, it ends there, so I'm going to have to extend that and probably make it a bit wider under here to give enough room. You need, I think it's 150 millimeters on the Fowler road system, and then that will give me plenty of room as well to continue the tube train underneath, so that can actually vanish out the station, and should be enough just to go into there, and perhaps I'll eventually have it on a program so it can just run backwards and forwards, but at least it can continue and vanish both ways by doing that as well. So you can see that I've also been laying out some track work to see how it fits in, and with the tube station forward like that, there's enough room to actually have a spare road behind, so I can sort of a bit of a fiddle yard, for want of better word. It's only one lane, but that will allow me to store a train, probably 3 or 4 coaches there. I was going to go right underneath and cut away so that could go under as well, but with the tube train going under and the Fowler road system, that baseboard there isn't huge, so it just isn't enough room to get everything under there, so I think I'll just stop it there. But it seems to fit in quite nicely. I've got the points a little bit further forward off of the curve, so that hopefully don't cause me any issues with the tube trains it comes under as well. Okay, so that's what I've done so far. I'll keep going, and I'll give an update when I've got something else to show you. So as you can see, my station's arrived. I called it retro, I meant Art Deco, that's the word I couldn't think of. Yeah, I wanted like a don't know what Art Deco is, 1940s, 50s. It's sort of got an underground sort of feel to it as well. So I wanted that type of feel to this station. So that's now in place up there, and as you can see, I've got the next level board up and that board. None of them's fixed at the moment. I'm just laying it all out just to see if it all works as I wanted it to. So as you can see, these two have both been cut back. Once I don't need the room, and two, it means my desk can sit a little bit closer in. So I've mirrored the curve on the top board, and that makes the tube station fit in quite neatly actually. And then obviously I'll block that in and make that a bit of a street scene. And then a bit of a mock-up platform. I don't think this will be the final bit that I'll use, but it gives a feel for the size. And then the station building is on the top there. And like I say, I can create then a road, maybe a parking area, maybe some other bits over there, I'm not quite sure yet. And then that can go onto another roadway, and I might even put some low relief, move the TV and put some low relief and make this a bit of a road above the railway like you do see. And that will sort of hide that windowsill a little bit. And then I need to build steps coming down onto the platform here, and make the platform a bit longer, going underneath a bit more, so that you can get, it's quite short there, it's only about 80 centimetres. And then this will create a bit of a base, so I'll have a bit more of a platform coming across here as well. And then this is wide enough as well that I can get a second siding in here, so a bit more storage as well, so that'll be handy. And then you can see there I've just laid out my points, and that fits in quite nicely with the way the track's laid out there. And then I can just put some scenic on that area there. And the way it joins up here is perfect, that I can just maybe continue with some more railway arches along here. maybe turn a few into shops and have the pavement and then the fallow road system running in front. And then I'm going to have to extend the road width here, because on a fallow, I haven't got the actual fallow system yet. It's on my Christmas list, so I'm really hoping I get it, otherwise I'm going to be doing a lot of work for nothing. But I've downloaded the PDF and the instructions, and it says you need a 10 centimetre for a dual carriageway, and I want them to be able to go along and up and round and pass. So it'll be on one continuous loop, but they'll be able to pass each other. So if you've got 2 or 3 vehicles, hopefully they won't crash into each other. So I'm going to have to re-lay out this little bit. Probably have the static fire engines actually inside the car parks either side. And then, yeah, so that the fallow system can trundle past uninterrupted. And the same here on the curve. I think it's a 12 centimetre radius, so that's as tight as you can get to get them to turn in the road. So I'm going to have to allow a bit of width there on that and make sure I can fit that in. But other than that, I mean, I think it's going to work. So having laid it out, knocked it out like this, I'm pretty pleased with it. So I've now really got to fix it all in place properly, cut out all the supports there and reinforce it so it doesn't weaken it too much. Put a new leg on, because you can see I'm resting on my actual desk there, so I'm going to have to put a new leg on there. And I've got a board there that I'm going to cut to fit underneath to create the room to do the loop round and the room for the underground train to go and hide backwards and forwards. So lots to do, but I'm sort of pleased with how it all fits together. So now it's a matter of actually fixing it all in place more permanently and make sure it's all level and joined up nicely. So I'll give you an update when that's done. Okay, so hopefully you can hear me over the noise of the rain on the roof. It's raining pretty heavy outside, so good day to be inside doing the modelling. So this is a cutaway now. This bit is going to be for the fallow roadway to go in and loop underneath, and then this side will be for the tube train to go under. And then I haven't got a fallow, but just for measurement, just so it's got enough clearance, we've got this little lorry there, so I'm hoping the fallow will be about the same size. And then over that side with a bit of rail and a tanker, that just clears it, but that's a lot higher than the tube train anyway, so there should be plenty of room for that. So now that's been cut, I can now go about fixing this top board in place more permanently now, and then get on with doing the track work up there, and then can then obviously then start doing the underneath once I've done that. So I'll carry on and film bits as I go. Hopefully you can hear me over the rain. It's still absolutely tipping down outside. I've been busy, as you can see. Now fixed the upper deck in place. There's lots of brackets and bolts and that underneath. I don't know if you can see, but so that's all fixed in place, and I've glued down a bit of felt roofing just to match, you know, so that there's a bit of an underlay. And it's just gluing in place. So the next stage really is to do the track work, and then once the track work is done up here, I can then lay out a platform and the stationary up there, and then fit the lower level of the underground. So quite pleased with it so far, but still lots to do. Okay, so quick update. It's dark out now, so you can see I've been going all day. I've now got all my track laid. Got my little DMU running around at the moment. There is an issue which I'm going to ask your advice on. Yeah, I'll show you that in a second. But just to give you a quick update now, the board's fixed in place, put a bit of underlay down. I've got my mock-up platform with my station above, and I found these footbridge that I had in my box a bit, so I've taken those off to see how they work, so I might be able to adapt them. So you can see it all fits in quite nicely. Got the platform with the what will be a bay. I just need to put a bit more of a platform there. This platform actually could be a bit wider, so I'm going to actually cut a piece and make it a bit wider and a bit longer. I did have an old Hornby ramp at the end there just to show how that fits in. So it all works quite nicely. I've actually put a set of extra droppers down here so that would power into it if I needed to. I'm running on DCC on both lines at the moment, so probably do need to put some more droppers in. That leads me on to the problem I've got, which seems to be this set of points. I'm not sure why, but as soon as I switch them across, which I was going to do just to see if my track's working okay, it short circuits. I'll wait for the DMU to come round, but I can't see any reason why it would do that. I mean, they're just two straight bits of track, a standard track, standard set of points here. I've disconnected this as well to see if that makes any difference, and it doesn't. So it's all running fine at the moment, but as soon as I switch those points across, I get a short circuit. The train dies and the system goes nuts, and unless the points are faulty and causing a short circuit, I can't think of any other reason why that would happen. I'll show you now. Here comes the DMU now. If I just put these points across and it dies, I'll take it over to my system and that's flashing like a good one. Obviously not happy. And then if I put them back across, the system here resets. It's gone back to 1, so the DMU won't start up now. But so yeah, I'm guessing there's a fault with the points, but unless there's something fundamentally wrong with the way I've set my track. So if anyone knows, if you could let me know in the comments, because I think I'll finish this video here now. I've done quite a lot of progress. So once I sort out the points, I can then get on and start doing the lower section and putting the track and the underground in. And then that'll be ready for my Falla system. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I actually got around to do some modelling, which is nice. So thanks for watching. Like I say, if you've got any ideas about why my points caused a short circuit, then please leave that in the comments. And don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe to my videos if you want to see the future ones, and hit the bell icon as well. So thanks very much, and enjoy your modelling, and I'll speak to you again soon.